What's poppin'?
It's your girl Queen K,
And it's me, So Icy.
and welcome back to our channel. So what we're gonna be talking about today, babe?
We are, you guys can tell by the title, we finna to talk about our IUI process from start to finish. Our last video where we didn't really go in depth with it got a lot of views, so we know a lot of people got questions about it. Plus, people inbox us, ask us questions: how y'all do this, how y'all do that, what the cost was, and all that. So we finna just take y'all from beginning to end.
I just want to throw it out there though. Not only does gay couples do the IUI insemination, straight couples do it, gay couples do it, single parents do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a process for everybody. So everybody is welcome to watch this video.
Yeah, and get some pointers.
Right.
But we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video. Before we even get started, we may have to do a part 2, just depending on how long this video is,
Right.
because there is a lot of information that we finna give out. So make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you'll know when we drop the next video.
Period.
And go ahead and hit the like button if you feel like, matter of fact, go ahead and hit the like button if you know we finna help you out with a successful pregnancy. Period. Pooh. Got our list of things to talk about, but it's a piece that we forgot, and I'm gonna let Bay tell y'all about it. But preparing, once you decide, preparing for it, we prepared by taking prenatals. What kind you had? Was it one a day?
I can't remember. I don't think it was one a day, but it was something.
Yeah.
It was prenatal vitamins. It had folic acid in it. That is the most important thing in the prenatal vitamins is the folic acid.
Yeah, because it helps the baby develop better.
Right.
Helps the brain develop, makes the baby strong, all that. So it's definitely, if you take prenatals, make sure it has folic acid in it. That's number 1. But timing is everything. That's where we messed up at, I feel like. Because we were so anxious to get it in. The sperm, that is. And we was just like, okay, let's do it. So, yeah.
And I want to add to that. I think it's really about how, like, when you want to do it as well too, because you have to plan ahead. Like, doing the IUI, you have to plan. You have to write things down. You have to write down your symptoms when you ovulating. You have to keep up with your menstrual 7 days, 3 days. How long does it last? Like, all of that. You have to keep up with all of this. So timing, being organized with the situation is definitely key as well. I wish we had a thought more into depth, but you live and you learn. It's pros and cons to the whole IUI situation, which we will definitely get into in this video.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to know how this journey went. However, I would not trade this journey for anything in the world. It was definitely it wasn't a life-changing experience, but it was definitely a good experience.
Yeah, it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
So, I guess since we already on the subject, we'll go ahead and talk about ovulation.
Right.
So, it was last minute for us as far as tracking our ovulation, and I'm saying our, because it's us, but It was her. Just to clear that up, Keandra is the one carrying the baby. But when we were tracking our ovulation, we was like, okay, we want to have a baby. So we got on YouTube, started looking at some stuff, and we should have really waited another month to verify everything that we thought was correct. Like I said, our timing was off. But she downloaded the
Flow app, which
Flow
will
app.
pop a picture in.
Right here. But it track. You tell the app when your period come on, what it's like every day, and from that, when it go on to the time it go off, that's when it'll be like, okay, well, this is your ovulation date. But when we say come on, we didn't know this. When your period come on, it's when you have a full day of flowing.
Not just spotting or you see some pink stuff or whatever.
It's actually flowing.
Right. And I'm going to be very detailed in this video.
Yeah, so disclaimer, we going to talk about blood, all that, everything. We want y'all to know everything.
So, like she was saying, it wants to have the full flow of a period, which means you have to actually change your pad flow, just so some of y'all can, understand what I'm saying. And when that flow comes on, like, I put my symptoms in the app just so I know, like, when my period about to come on. Because for me, I don't know about anybody else, my periods are awful. Like, I have bad menstrual periods, and I know when my period is about to come on, and I know when it's about to go off. But my period is kind of tricky sometimes, so I have to pay attention to a lot of things that goes on with me when my period is on. So for future references, when we decide to actually have a child, try for a child again, I would know the symptoms.
Right. And then when it goes off, that's when you've had a full day of nothing. Like, nothing at all. No spotting or nothing.
Right.
So let's just say June the 1st, it was just spotting. But June the 2nd, it was a full day. June the 2nd is when you would start timing your cycle.
You would document.
Yeah. But then let's just say June the 8th came and you still got a little something, but it's like very, very little. Your period is still on.
Right.
But that next day, the 9th, when you see nothing, it's gone. That's it. So that's the day you will start timing your ovulation date from there. Your ovulation date is usually 10 to 14 days after your period has went off. So whatever that one day is, 10 to 14 days after that. That's why it's best to get the app, because everybody else's body is different, and that's why you have to prepare. Because you may time on the 10th day, the first month, and then the next month your period might stay on an extra day and knock it off. That's why timing is everything. You really have to study your cycle before you even
attempt to inseminate.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot.
So, number one question that I get, how did you know you was ovulating?
Mm-hmm.
Before I even test my ovulation or any of that, how I know when I ovulate is because I have a certain pain in the crease of my pelvic and my bone. I think I can show y'all. So it usually be like right here. I have a certain pain with I know my egg is about to drop. And also, it's very detailed, I'm sorry, but when I use the restroom, it's a clear but slimy.
It's like you just
like
had intercourse,
right?
But you didn't. That's what it looked like. It's like you just had intercourse, had an orgasm, and
exactly. And
Whoa.
What's the name? So
Yeah.
that's what it looked like when you like if you just go use the bathroom and you wipe and it's on there and it's clear, slimy. And
That's what they call ovulation mucus.
that's how I know when I'm ovulating. I really don't have any other symptoms as much. I just pay attention to my ovulation mucus and stuff like that. So, the next question that I think I had got was, what kind of ovulation kit did I use? I actually used 2 ovulation kits. I used a cheap one and an expensive one. I don't have no pictures of them, but if we could find pictures, we'll pop one in. But the first ovulation test that I used was it told me my highest peak, and it told like it was a smiley face on it. It blanked when I was like at my low peak, and then when I was at my high peak, it stayed on for 48 hours.
Yeah.
And the other ovulation test that I used, it was cheap. It looked like a regular little pregnancy test, and it just had 2 lines if you was ovulating and one line if you wasn't ovulating. And honestly, I really like the cheap ones better. The cheap one definitely, I think it was more accurate. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, cause I feel like cause we use Clear Blue. That's what it was. We used Clear Blue, and I really feel like that one, it counts how many times it gives you a certain result.
Right, and then it just
Because
stay on.
like it was said she wasn't ovulating, but when we took the stick out that had the 2 lines on it, it said she was, but the actual digital screen said she wasn't.
Right.
So we recommend using the cheap ones or getting some
HCG sticks.
Yeah.
They have those.
Yeah.
And just again keeping up with your ovulation mucus and stuff like that.
Yeah. We can't stress that enough. If y'all don't take nothing else from this video, please, please, please time everything. Time is everything. We cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, most definitely.
When you if you're gonna do an IUI and you wanna get pregnant, make sure you figure it out ahead of time. Don't just be like, okay, when my period go off, we're gonna have a baby. No. Wait a month or 2 afterwards to actually time yourself. I would technically say 2 months. The first month to see what it's like.
And get your symptoms together.
And then the second month to verify. And then that third month, go ahead and try. That's what I would recommend. So we went to a local doctor's office, and at first we thought we were just going to be able to get the sperm ordered and get it sent to the house, and we was going to do it at home. Well, the first doctor's office, they didn't have the laboratory, so they couldn't hold it for us. So he recommended us to go somewhere else, which I'm glad he did because they ran testing and we didn't know we had to do all that. So we had that first initial doctor's office with a fertility clinic, and they did their testing, checked all her hormone levels, made sure everything was good before they even did it. They said they ain't seen a reason why she couldn't. So that was the very first doctor's appointment. So he gave us some options of sperm banks that we could use, and we just had to go from there. Our doctor recommended that we use 2 vials instead of 1. But when it being so last minute, if you have looked into it, you know for yourself that buying sperm is not cheap. So we just wanted to try it with 1 at first. So we used Seattle Sperm Bank, and their price was $6.90 for 1 vial. We went ahead, ordered 1 vial, had it shipped to the doctor's office. They called us, let us know when it was in, and they said when you start testing your ovulation and you get a positive ovulation test, call us and we will schedule a day when you come in, afterwards. So they do move really quick, and they will get you in on the day you say your ovulation test is positive.
Right.
But also on that first doctor visit, they gave us a paper with all of the prices to do it. Alright? All the prices.
Let's just say it's not cheap.
No.
At all.
So we kept testing for the positive ovulation. When we finally got it, we called them and we was like, okay, hey, we got our positive ovulation test and we're ready. And honestly, that's why I say I would not recommend using the Clear Blue Digital, because the Flow app was right, and we were wrong by going by that, what's the name?
Right.
Cause we went on a Tuesday, and the app said she didn't really ovulate until that
Friday.
Yeah, so we were a few days early.
Few days.
Yeah.
It was a lot of days.
Yeah, we were early.
Yeah, we was early. And so when we got to the doctor to actually get inseminated, I had to fill out some papers, so did she.
Yeah.
We actually thought that it was going to be expensive, but we thought it was going to be expensive that day, but it only turned out to be like, what, $60, I think?
Yeah.
Probably not even that.
Somehow, some way, because it was supposed to, for the insemination, it was supposed to be $277.
Right.
But the lady was like, okay, well, it's going to be, was it $71?
I can't remember. I know it was.
It wasn't no more than $100.
Cheap, though, yeah.
Yeah.
And but back to, so when I actually got the insemination, we had to fill out the papers and stuff like that. We sat there and waited. Then the doctor came in and talked to us, and the doctor who was actually supposed to do it, he had to do surgery, so I had to end up letting another doctor do it. But which was fine, because I'm pretty sure all of them know what they doing. And him and the assistant came in and talked to me and her, and they showed us the valve and the long. It's a long. I'm talking about long. It's like a catheter. It's like a catheter. They stuck that up. Well, I had to take my clothes off and lay down on the bed, little thing. And he told me, he was talking to me as the procedure was going, and I promise you the procedure didn't take but 3 to 5 minutes. That's how fast it was. And he was telling me that the sperm count was good. The sperm count was over 1 million. And
it was like 17 million.
Right. And he stuck the thing up and he said, you'll feel a little bit of cramping, which I felt a lot of cramping. Now that hurt. It don't hurt bad to like, oh my God, but it does hurt. It hurt a little bit. And he said that just lets me know that I'm in the right spot. So I started cramping up. He inserted the specimen inside of me, and that was it. Then they lift up the little bottom part, and I had to lay there for 15, 20 minutes. Just to have a little elevation and stuff like that. And that was it. It wasn't no harsh procedure. It wasn't none of that.
It was simple.
It was very simple.
So then afterwards, they was like, okay, well, in 2 weeks, take a pregnancy test, give us a call.
And that was that.
Okay. So those 2 weeks will be the longest
of your life.
2 weeks of your life.
I promise you.
But after that, we had went and ate, and Keandra was still cramping afterwards. And
I couldn't even eat.
yeah, she was still cramping. Her stomach was hurting. So the after effects when you do an IUI, you will have cramping.
You will. Not
yeah.
everybody. I don't know because everybody not the
different,
same.
but more than likely you will feel cramping.
But me, I felt cramping.
So days went by, and matter of fact, a week went by. After that week went by, we was doing a lot of research. We was reading a lot of things online, and you know, we just felt like we was up to par. Like we knew what was going on inside of the body. We had it all planned out. We thought we was pregnant.
We had it all figured out.
Yeah, but that's not how it goes.
We were wrong.
So that week went by. Keandra started having what they call a phantom pregnancy symptoms, when you basically feel like the baby is starting to
develop.
Yeah, like it's,
and it really comes from wanting to be pregnant so bad, and you just feel like you're pregnant. You just got in your mind you're pregnant. Period.
Yeah. And Keandra really felt like she was pregnant. Like she had all of the symptoms.
I had all of the symptoms.
And I was like, you pregnant.
Y'all.
But she's not the only one. When we looked into it, she's not the only one that has
it's real.
It's real.
It's real.
And they really call it the phantom pregnancy symptoms, because you will actually feel like you are pregnant. Whether your body is fighting off the sperm, or it's just not working, or it's actually taking it, you will feel like you're becoming pregnant. You will.
You definitely will. And I'm going to tell y'all some of the things that I was feeling. So, sometimes I would feel very tired. I was having mood swings. Like, one day I called her crying. I felt sick all the time. I could not eat. Everything smelled terrible to me. Like, I really had phantom pregnancy symptoms, and it's bad because it had you thinking that you are pregnant, and it's such a disappointment when you find out that you're not, especially when you feel like you've been going through all the post-pregnancy symptoms. So there was a couple things that I felt. What else did I feel?
So we was still doing our research now a week later, and they were talking about the spotting that you have once the egg is
attached to your uterus.
And it's a very, very light pink.
Faint.
What were we doing? It was getting
We was in
close.
The kitchen, I think.
Yeah, but it was getting closer to the 2 weeks to be up.
Right.
And she was like, babe, I think my period came on. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah. She was like, I'm spotting, like my period came on. And I was like, what? So at this point, I'm reading up. I'm like, okay, everything went well. Everything went how it was supposed to go. At this time now, we wasn't thinking about the fact that our timing was off.
Right.
We weren't thinking about it.
Exactly.
So I'm like, ain't no way. So I'm reading up. But she was like, it's a lighter color. It's not the usual color.
And mind y'all, I never spot for my period.
Never.
Ever.
So I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know what to say. I really didn't know what to say. But then later when we had talked about it again, she was like, it's gone. And I was like, that's not your period. That's the egg attaching to your uterus. That's spotting before you get pregnant. I'm like, oh, what color is it? And she was like, it's
I sent you a picture.
Yeah, she sent me a picture. It was a real light pink.
Right.
And I was like, no, babe, this the color, you pregnant. And she was like, we were just so happy. We were so happy. And later that night, she was like, it's back. It did it again. And then that morning, she went to the bathroom and her period was really on. And when I tell you, like, we were so hurt because, like
So
she said,
devastated.
her period has never, ever done that before. Never.
Then on top of that, I was having these phantom pregnancy symptoms. So that was very devastating. Not only was we devastated, our family.
Yeah, because
Friends.
everybody was excited.
Yeah. So after the devastation of us realizing that we weren't pregnant and my period had came on and all of that stuff, I cried. She was kind of a strong cookie in this situation because somebody had to be strong. But I mean, it's life. I'm here to tell you, if it don't work the first time, don't give up. Just keep on trying and have that mindset. Well, maybe it's just not the right timing or whatever your situation is, you know. Because again, time is definitely the most important thing in the situation.
So to do a quick summary of everything, I know we just gave y'all a lot of information. So we use the Seattle Sperm Bank. I would recommend them. They're pretty good about it. Sending you updates and stuff. So Seattle Sperm Bank.
Because they sent me an update because I think the weather was bad.
Yeah.
And she called and she said, I'm telling you, either I need to send it out now or you're not going to get any time. So, yeah. They good.
And then we tracked our ovulation by using the Flow app and the ovulation kits. We recommend using the ones you just
stick in the
one you just urinate on.
Right.
Not the digital. Cost wise, I'm gonna have to get the right amount. It's gonna be right here. I'm gonna make sure I put it right here with the right amount.
Right.
I put a breakdown in here of how much the sperm was plus the shipping and then the total cost. So you'll see all that.
I got our bank information.
Okay, yeah. I put all that right there. You'll see it. And then like we said, timing. Please time yourself. And then something that we missed, which I can't explain it because I wasn't asked the question and I don't know how it worked. But if we use, how you say it?
Unmedicated or medicated. So unmedicated is when you go get the IUI, when you have the, what is it? When you just talking.
Oh, the consultation.
Yeah, when you just he or she, the doctor asks you, do you want to get blood work and progesterone shots and all this type of stuff like that. That's the medicated one. If you get the progesterone shots, the HCG shots, and all this stuff before you actually have the IUI procedure done. The unmedicated one is the one that we chose to do. And what he did with us was just check my uterus. And, he took blood work. When you do unmedicated and medicated, both of them still take blood work.
But
I just didn't do the progesterone shots and the HCG shots and the ovulation shots. I didn't do all that because I felt like I was good.
Yeah, so basically, medicated is when you help yourself get more fertile, basically. And unmedicated when you just be like, okay, I feel like I'm fertile, let's do this. But the people who don't know what all that stuff is, because I don't know what all that stuff is.
So yeah, I chose the unmedicated one because I have no problem with my menstrual, getting my menstrual every month. So my period is not irregular or anything like that. So I don't feel like that I needed to do the medicated one. But however, whether you do the medicated or unmedicated one, I feel like you still need to take the prenatal vitamins with the folic acid in it. Even if you do not take the the prenatal vitamins, please go to an OBGYN to get prescribed folic acid. Please.
Yeah. So that was our entire process from start to finish. Like we said, unfortunately it did not go in our favor, but we are definitely going to try again. And if you have a friend who want to donate sperm or whatnot, it's really the same process.
I think it's easier that way too.
Yeah, if you do an at-home insemination, you really can use same stuff. It's still the timing. It's really just instead of a doctor, your spouse or whoever doing it.
Right.
So,
and time is still important.
Yeah.
Regardless if you do it by a doctor or home, timing is definitely still important.
Yeah.
I hope we answered all y'all questions because I know a lot of people have questions and ask me questions all the time, especially through Snapchat or something. So if we didn't answer all y'all questions, just comment below and, ask us the question and maybe we could do a part 2 for you guys or whatever.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure we answer all y'all questions. If we got the answer, we're going to give it to you straight up.
Yeah. So, like you said, if we have to do a part 2 with just strictly question and answers, we'll do that. If you don't want to put it out there, or maybe you want it to be a surprise and you don't want everybody to see your comment, then just inbox one of us on Snapchat. Please don't hesitate. Do not hesitate. We do not mind answering questions. We do not mind giving you any type of advice on anything. If we can answer it, we'll answer it. But yeah,
I'm trying to make sure we answer it.
It's a lot of information. We hope y'all made it to the end. We hope it helped. We appreciate y'all.
We love y'all.
Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. We on the road to 300 subscribers. Like this video if we helped you out in some type of way. If you learned something you didn't know.
Right.
And like she said, comment with your questions. We do not mind answering anything for y'all.
At all.
And with that being said,
we
will see you in the next one.